पहले तो हमें ये बताइए, ये कंफ्यूजन दूर कीजिए कि आप एक्सपेल्ड है कि रिकॉल्ड है, बिकॉज इन वेरियस साइट्स देयर आर वेरियस एक्सप्लेनेशंस.
तो अगर आप कनाडा के साइट्स को देखेंगे तो मैं एक्सपेल्ड हूँ.
राइट.
और अगर आप हमारे साइट्स को देखेंगे तो मैं विड्रॉन हूँ.
हाँ.
और कुछ कहते हैं रिकॉल्ड हूँ.
हाँ.
मैं कहूँगा कॉल्ड बैक हूँ.
सो यू कॉल्ड बैक.
Yes.
व्हाट इज द टर्म कॉल्ड बैक मीन?
तो इसका अर्थ ये है कि मेरे देश ने यह निर्णय लिया कि मुझे यहाँ पर वापस बुला लिया जाए किसी भी कारण से. और वो कारण सुरक्षा के हो सकते हैं, कारण ये हो सकते हैं कि शायद मैं अच्छा काम नहीं कर रहा हूँ, ये भी कारण हो सकता है.
अच्छा, they don't need to explain to everybody.
No.
Okay.
So what happened? I'll just run you through the chronology.
Right.
So on 12th of October, which was a Sunday, I went to their foreign ministry, which is known as Global Affairs Canada, GSC, at around 10 o'clock in the morning. I and my Deputy High Commissioner. And then they talked a bit, and then they handed over to us a sealed envelope saying that, there is a note in this, and you and 5 other colleagues of yours are persons of interest for interrogation in case of Niger's killing. Came back, straight face. They might have got a bit irritated that this guy is not flabbergasted. Came back, informed Delhi. Then Delhi called their acting High Commissioner in New Delhi, the Canadian acting High Commissioner.
Because the Canadian High Commissioner had already been expelled.
Left.
Okay.
No, already left.
Left.
Sorry.
Okay.
No, he was not.
Okay.
So it was an acting High Commissioner. So he came with one of his colleagues, Deputy High Commissioner, and the senior most official in the Ministry of External Affairs who deals with Canada. He told him that, look, we have received, this is very unsavory. This is something which breaks all the trust between the two of us, and therefore we are calling back and withdrawing our High Commissioner and 5 others whom you have named as person of interest. So he might have reported back to the headquarters. All of us do that. Then they decided that, okay, India has withdrawn you, but we will declare you persona non grata. So we were declared persona non grata, all 6 of us, given a time deadline of 19th of October, 11:59 p.m. to leave the country. Otherwise, our diplomatic immunity will be no more valid.
Okay.
So this is the whole chronology. So technically speaking, I am withdrawn, I am called back. Some people call it recall as well. So I am one of these. But the Canadian government has the prerogative to declare me persona non grata at any point of time. It's their pleasure. And they did so, but they did so after we had already withdrawn ourselves.
So now, when you say persons of interest, can you explain to our viewers and listeners what person of interest means as per Canadian law? Is it the same like in America? And did you expect it? Like, have they gone through that chronology as per the judicial process that is there in Canada?
I had no warning. I was never alerted that they were looking at me as well. Though I had RCMP officers as close protection with me, and they might have been relaying all the movements. And just to my friends, I can assure them that none of my movement was suspicious. So I had nothing to fear. And then when they declare person of interest, what they basically mean is that one will have to submit oneself to the federal policing, in this case known as RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, who will then ask questions to me in connection with a certain episode which they think as crime. And then I have to respond to that under oath.
So in this case, it was related to the crime that was committed on Canadian soil, which is the killing of Niger. But they've accused you of other things also, right? So could they have inquired about those things also?
So the diplomatic note only talked about this dreaded terrorist Niger's killing. other things came in a press conference.
Do they mention in that, I'm sorry to interrupt, do they mention that a Canadian Niger, or in that is it mentioned as terrorist Niger, militant Niger, separatist Niger?
It was Canadian Niger. I mean, they didn't mention Canadian.
But Canadian citizen.
Was Canadian citizens
That's
killed
all.
on a Canadian
Okay.
on the Canadian soil.
Huh.
So their designation is different than our designation, and that's fine.
Sure.
I will not take that otherwise. And thereafter, they said that my diplomatic immunity and that of my colleagues should be waived so that I can be interrogated. Now, ideally, they should have shared the evidence with me for what I am being investigated. What is the evidence that they have? So that even as a normal citizen, anyone could go and then defend himself or herself. In this case, I was the ranking representative of India there. So it's a bad diplomatic practice. Even with our bordering neighbor, Pakistan, it has never happened. Even during the Cold War, they did not resort to declaring each other's ambassadors as persona non grata. Other diplomats, yes. So as far as my recollection goes, this has happened for the first time in the history of Indian diplomacy, that an Indian ambassador has been declared persona non grata by another, in this case, a friendly country.
Click here to watch the full episode.